Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is a follow-on from the Softsit police chase video. He ended up with a slew of charges and is in court representing himself. And it goes as well as you might expect. Enjoy.
I'm here on that matter.
Ma'am, we're not allowed in yet.
She's my witness. She's coming
Okay,
with
call the
me.
witness in later.
Well, then she can come in when...
No, sir.
I'll
no.
come in when she can come in, then.
Okay,
If you're not
say-
ready for me, then you're not ready for
Ma'am,
me.
let me tell you what's gonna happen. We're not having a disorder today. Because you disrupting
I'll
our
come with
courtroom. You can't come in. Have a seat, you go in.
I'm not going in without my witness. She's here to witness the fraud in this court. If I can't bring in my witness, I'm not
You
coming
don't
in the
bring
court.
in the witness until she calls.
Well, okay, then she's not ready for me. When she calls for me, I'll go in then.
Wow, we're not even in the courtroom yet and he's already causing trouble. This bodes well for the hearing.
Like I said, I ain't. I'm in there and try to fucking railroad me around. She ain't ready for me. There ain't no reason I can't sit out here just like I'm sitting fucking there. Come on. Oh, excuse me.
You walk up to the stand, you have a seat in the back.
She walks up with me.
No,
She's
you're
my
not.
witness. Yes,
No,
she is.
no, you're not.
Yes, she
No,
is.
you're not. No, you're not. Go
Can't
that
deny me
way.
my damn
Go that way.
Don't be pushing on me.
Go this way.
Why you assaulting me? Get your hands off of me.
Sir, get it. Move out the
I
way.
did not consent with this bullshit anyhow. Don't be pushing me around.
That's my camera.
Yeah, that's my witness.
She wasn't even there on the traffic stop, you were on your own. So how can she be your witness?
You need to approach the bench,
Yeah.
sir.
The state's asking for the rule, and then she has to step out, okay, until she's called. Okay, ma'am, if you'll stand right there,
Can you tell her not to touch me?
No, don't.
then just don't walk into her arm, okay? Okay, hold everything. I need everybody to stay right where they are for 1 minute. Can you put us on the record? Okay. For the record, this is State of Tennessee versus Gregory Justin Parker, case number 1834881.
Get ready for this long list of charges. It's incredible the amount of offences he committed by refusing to pull over.
He's charged with the offense of evading arrest, 8-2, reckless endangerment, 8-3, resisting, 8-4, driving on a revoked, 8-6, speeding, 8-7, reckless driving, 8-8, registration, 8-9, texting while driving, 9-0, failure to use due care, 9-1, driving without a license, 9-2, driving without insurance, 9-3, registration violation, and 9-5, retaliation. All witnesses that are going to testify, you said you're going to testify, ma'am.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Okay, are you going to testify? If you're not, you're going to leave the courtroom.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Sir, you're not being talked to.
We are not having any witnesses of proceedings now due to COVID regulations.
What's all these other people in here?
Victims,
Looks to me like they're all there to testify. Your quote-unquote witness isn't.
or witnesses in the courtroom. And so if you're going to testify, raise your right hand. If not, okay, then you need to step outside. Sir, if you'll step forward. right
Before I cross this bar, I waive no rights and I retain all my rights.
Okay, step forward. Step forward. Okay, now, sir, before we start this hearing, I need
Let's
you to
step forward.
tell me whether or not you have an attorney to represent you. Do you
I
have
don't
an
have an
attorney?
attorney. I have no
Okay.
need for one.
Now, do you wish me to appoint you an attorney
No.
for this preliminary hearing? If you don't wish to have an attorney, I need you to waive your
I'm
right
not waiving
to have
any
an
rights.
attorney.
Listen to that. The judge is trying to help him, but all he hears is the words "waive your rights," and he instantly thinks that's a bad thing. He doesn't understand that in order to properly represent himself, he needs to waive his rights to a lawyer, or standby counsel will be appointed, which he will also whine about.
Okay, well, you either will have an attorney or you will waive your right to
I will
an
not
attorney.
accept an attorney, and I will not waive any rights either.
Okay.
I have the
then
right
I'm
to
going
be here as
appoint
myself
an
sued
attorney
jurors.
to represent you today.
I do not
will
accept
appoint the public
representation. I do not
defender
need
to represent-
representation.
Do not talk.
I am
when I'm
competent.
talking.
Quiet, sir.
Okay? I'm going to appoint the public defender. He does not want anybody to represent him, but since he refuses to waive his right to an attorney, I am appointing an attorney only as an armchair counsel for this
I do not
hearing.
accept this.
Do you
Do not
wish to
consent to
talk
this.
to your attorney?
Well, waive your right to an attorney then. The judge gave you the two options available to you, and you chose neither. That's on you.
Your attorney that I've appointed for
No.
you.
I do not accept him to speak a word on my behalf either.
Okay. I'm just going to have one of the public defenders
Will be available, Judge.
that be available to
So we're
him.
just gonna hear your case. You
No,
have any
I
questions?
don't
Okay,
have no use for you.
okay. He has no use for the public defender, but since any
I am
reviewing
confident.
court that looks at this will understand, I am appointing him a public defender as an
Against my
armchair
will
since
and
he
against my
refuses
consent.
It's not a matter of will or consent. This is for your benefit and to protect your rights. But you're too dumb to understand that.
To waive his right. Now, sir, if you at some point decide to testify in this hearing, I assume you would like a jury trial, is that correct?
Yes, it's the only trial I do accept is a jury trial. I do
Okay.
not accept these sham
And so in order
proceedings.
to get this case to criminal court, you first have the right to have a preliminary hearing, and so that's what you're about to have is your preliminary hearing. So all witnesses that are going to testify, if you will, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Parker, the way this will proceed, General Denny will ask Trooper Harry any questions. After he asks him questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you so desire. You may ask.
Trooper Harris, if you would state your full name for the record. And are you employed with the Tennessee Highway Patrol?
Yes, I am.
What duties are you assigned within the Highway Patrol?
Traffic patrol,
Okay, and what area of the state are you currently assigned within?
Hamilton County.
Now, I'm going to direct your attention back to, I think, the events of March the 29th of this year, in the vicinity of Highway 27, somewhere around 6 p.m. Did you encounter a red Chevy truck on the
I will.
highway roadway?
You send me sign on to it.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Could you just explain the circumstances of your original encounter with this red Chevy truck?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir. I was traveling north on 27 and I saw the red truck coming south on 27 at a high rate of speed. And I confirmed the speed with my radar to be 91 and a 65. So I turned around, caught up to the vehicle, which is now traveling in the construction zone at 81 miles per hour and 45. It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883, 27 South Des Moines. Not yet. I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over.
Well, yeah, the cop thought this was just an everyday routine traffic stop at that point. He had no idea you had no intention of pulling over, so I don't know why you think this proves your point, because you didn't stop when you had the chance.
221. Our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
Yes, but that's not where he said you were doing 91 or 81, is it? He said he clocked you at 91 as you were driving south and he was driving north. Then he turned around, caught up to you while you were travelling through a construction zone. That's when he said you were doing 81 in a 45. There is no construction zone in the part of the video you showed us. You have the dashcam footage, but up to now you've only released part of it. Why is that?
I activated my emergency equipment to make a traffic stop. The vehicle changed lanes, signaling, and it slowed down to a respectable speed. It was still over the 45 speed limit in the construction zone, but it was much more respectable.
We don't know if he is lying because you didn't post that part of the dashcam video, even though you have it in your possession. Again, why is that?
My dispatch, I ran the tag. The tag was a Texas tag displayed on a red pickup, and the tag came back to a Nissan out of Texas. So the tag displayed on the truck did not match the truck. My dispatch asked me to notify them when the vehicle had stopped. The vehicle continued to travel south on 27. My dispatch asked me if I was in pursuit. At the time, I stated to them, no, I believe that he was going to stop, but the vehicle continued past several exits and shoulders, including a grass shoulder. Then I notified my dispatch that I was in pursuit of the vehicle. The vehicle continued on 27, getting on the 24, and then exited off 24, continuing to pass by parking lots, shoulders, stopping at a stop sign, making a right turn on the 25th.
Well, video doesn't lie, and it shows you passing one exit, then refusing to stop after that. It was only the traffic lights that brought you to a stop.
Eventually the vehicle stopped at a stoplight. That's when I exited my patrol car, and I felt like this was the opportunity to end the pursuit before anything else happened. So I exited my patrol car, went up to the vehicle. As I was going to the vehicle, I was giving commands for him to stop and exit the vehicle. He was refusing all commands. I took out my baton, broke the window, and had to remove him by force. Including unlocking the door, removing his seatbelt, bringing him out of the vehicle. Once he was out of the vehicle, he refused to get on the ground, so he was put on the ground by force and taken into custody.
Okay, what distance would you estimate you traveled after you engaged your emergency equipment before coming to a complete stop at the red light? What distance was that?
It was approximately a mile, I would say.
So
Maybe,
he traveled more than a mile or a mile
Yes.
after you engaged your emergency equipment?
Oh, no. After I engaged my emergency equipment, it was probably somewhere between 2 and 3 miles.
2 to 3 miles. What were the speeds during the pursuit?
I believe I can tell you what the top speed was.
If you would, just refer to your notes to refresh your recollection.
Yes, sir. It's as high as 63 miles per hour. 221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
This doesn't mean you weren't doing 63 during other parts of the pursuit. Is this all you have?
During the pursuit itself?
Yes, sir.
Now, you originally stated, I think, in your testimony that he was doing 91 and a 65 according to your radar.
Your speed was 90 and a 65 and you did not stop. You had plenty of places to stop.
Well, that's a good question. A question a lawyer would know to ask.
Yes, sir.
What speed was he traveling in the construction zone?
81.
Okay, and what's the speed limit in a construction zone?
That particular construction zone was 45.
81 and a 45 in the construction zone?
Well, you could just post the full dashcam video you have in your possession, instead of just parts you think help your cause.
Now, once you were able to bring him into your custody, as you've described, were you able to investigate further what was going on?
Yes.
What did you find out?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand when I was at the window. And later on, he had stated to me that he started live streaming on Facebook when I was behind him. I also found that he was revoked. His revoked status was revoked for DUI. There was no insurance on the vehicle. The registration was expired, but the plate that he had on the vehicle did not match the vehicle itself.
Did you have a photocopy here in court with you of a plate that he may have had affixed to the vehicle that was of suspect or dubious nature?
Well, he had one that was displayed in the window. But
right, if I could see it.
Yes, sir.
So this plate was displayed in a window of the Chevy truck?
Yes.
Which window?
There was only one on the back, just
Okay.
a full back window.
Okay. I'm going to show this to the defendant so that he can view it. I'm going to ask the court to admit this as Exhibit 1 to the state's testimony and move its introduction into evidence.
Okay, sir, is there any objection to that?
Nope.
Okay. Then
Nice
I'll
little
make
notice,
it-
isn't it?
I'm sorry, sir?
It's a nice notice, isn't it?
Okay. I'll make that exhibit 1.
All right. So when you found out that there was no proper registration to the vehicle and that he had this device, did you charge him with some sort of registration misuse violation?
Yes, I did.
What was the basis of that?
Because the tag that was displayed on the vehicle did not match the one that was on the truck. So he was misusing the registration, using one that was not for the vehicle itself. The one out of Texas came back to, I believe, a 2008 gray Nissan.
Now, you charged evading arrest because of the 2 to 3 mile chase, correct?
Yes, because he refused to stop.
And you also charged him with reckless endangerment. Is that based upon the overall driving that occurred during the periods that you followed him?
All of it, putting when he refuses to stop and the pursuit continues, it puts my life at risk, his life, everyone else on the roadway, including pedestrians that could be in the crosswalk or on the sidewalk. So a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883.
Oh, by the way, this isn't me adding in these pursuit clips. He's doing it as a rebuttal to the officer's testimony. But all he's doing is showing a video where he's putting himself, the officer, and other road users in danger. But he sees this as some kind of gotcha, because pedestrians aren't on the highway.
This is also at a time when, kids may have been walking home from school.
On Highway 27.
And so let me just ask you, you charged resisting. I know you've already testified that he physically resisted your attempts there at the stoplight. Could you describe whether he used physical force to resist you?
Just passive resistance.
Okay. So he just would not cooperate with anything. I think you had to extract him from the driver's seat.
Yes, I did.
Did you have to disconnect a seat belt or something to that effect to get him out?
Well, the seatbelt did have to be removed from him. The door had to be unlocked.
Okay.
I had to open it myself.
And you had to break open the window to even get to him?
Yes.
Now, this may be part of the reckless endangerment and the speeding, but you charged in addition reckless driving itself. Is that more or less based on the speed of 91 and a 65, or is there more to it than that?
Yes, sir. The construction zone, and the pursuit, everything, all the above.
Okay. Did he have a license, driver's license with him?
No, he did not.
Were you able to find anything about his driver's license other than it appeared to have been revoked for a prior DUI?
What a surprise, a soft sit with a revoked driver's licence, and for DUI. And you have the nerve to call this officer out on a few speeding discrepancies and inconsistencies that don't appear to be true anyway. Oh, and this nonsense on the screen doesn't apply to this situation.
No, just through dispatch. When his information was run through dispatch.
One of the things that you charged him here was failure to exercise due care. What's the basis of that charge?
Basically, it's just a lesser form of the reckless driving, based on the fact that he's failure to exercise due care to all of the motorists, myself, himself, and any other people or pedestrians on the roadway. Not yet. I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over. .221. Our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
I really don't know why you keep splicing in these cherry-picked clips to try to undermine the officer's testimony, because it shows you speeding and failing to stop.
Okay, and I think another offense you charged is texting while driving. I know you said he was live streaming, or he told you he was live streaming during the pursuit. Was he also texting?
It was the same TCA code as the hands-free law, so I charged him with hands-free and wrote hands-free underneath of it.
Okay, so the actual live stream could have, the way he was positioned was not done in a fashion that his hands were free?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
okay.
yes, sir.
I notice you didn't try to rebut the cell phone claim. Pretty hard to, as your own video shows the phone in your hand while you're in the driver's seat. Instead, you throw up this soft-sit nonsense about the licence being a contract, and a case that has nothing to do with your situation because you are being tried in the state where you committed those crimes.
Now, the retaliation charge, is that based on something that happened post-arrest?
Yes. In the back of the patrol car, he had stated to me that if I continued my actions, if I continued to do my job and proceed with the arrest, that he would take action against me.
Okay. And did he say what form that action would be?
I'd have to go back and look at the video.
USC 42, 1983.
Yes, let's all listen to the part where you warn the cop you're coming after him if he continues with this.
And like the last time, Chattanooga, anybody did mess with me. They impounded my truck, took it to the lot and said it was state of Tennessee. So they ended up giving me back my truck, didn't charge me nothing. Said I had to come get it from their property. They couldn't do nothing with it. And what I'm letting you know, brother, is if we continue with this, you're giving me grounds where I can come after you. You don't have immunity anymore when you're acting outside of your oath.
Okay.
And a lot of you guys don't, and I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I didn't do it with the last guys because, you know, I am one, I believe in forgiveness. But I can't allow this stuff to keep happening to me because it does bring a lot of hardship on me. And I will have to start, you know, getting made right again because this is causing harm against me and my family.
Okay.
You know, and like I could forgive this, but if we go through all the steps, I will have to, you know, you don't have the qualified immunity once you're acting outside the scope of your authority, brother.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm not just trying to talk my way out of this or nothing. I'm literally giving you a warning right now that, I mean, you are violating my rights right now. Without there being a victim, you can't just take me to jail without a warrant.
Did he quote Uniform Commercial Code or some sort of United States Code law to you?
He was. Yes, okay. He was.
All right. Now, did you have any other officers with you by the time you encountered him there at the place he stopped at the red light?
No, not until after he was in custody.
Okay. So you were by yourself through the entire affair?
Yes, I was.
And all this did happen in Hamilton County?
Yes, it did.
Did the defendant ever offer to you any explanation why he did not respond to your emergency equipment?
He said he was going to stop, and he said that he was going to pull into the gas station. And I said, but you didn't, because he passed by the gas station entrance. So I do not believe he had any intention to stop.
That's all I have at this time. I turn the witness over.
Okay, Mr. Parker, you may ask this trooper any questions you wish to ask of him at this time.
All right, get ready for the soft sit stuff. I know it's taken a while to properly get to it, but it's definitely worth the wait.
Yeah, when did you come to the determination I was driving?
When I got behind you and you're behind the wheel of the vehicle.
What evidences do you have to make you come to that determination that I was driving?
Asked and answered.
I think that's been answered, sir. You can ask your next question.
What evidences did he have that I was driving, other than being on the road, because there's other uses of the road besides just driving?
You may ask your next question, sir.
Do you know the difference between a right and a privilege?
Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate a little bit what a difference in a right and a privilege would be?
Well, for one, nobody has the right to drive. It's a privilege, and that privilege can be taken away from you at any time.
All right. Do you know the difference between driving and traveling and how it's defined and the codes?
I'm going to object to that question because it's irrelevant under the state law.
That's completely irrelevant.
I'll sustain the objection. You may ask your next question, sir.
You obviously don't, because travelling is a right, driving is a privilege. Always has been, always will be.
And you swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution?
Yes.
And on that day, what did you say you witnessed me doing on Highway 27 as you were passing me?
Excessive speeds.
I just thought you just told him you witnessed me traveling southbound 27 as you was traveling northbound.
Object to the use of the word traveling.
I was traveling north on 27 and it's all. I was traveling north on 27 and it's all. I was traveling north on 27 and it's all.
That's his statement. I'm just reiterating what he just stated. When he was.
As I recall his testimony, he said driving.
Yeah.
Well, not to get too pedantic here, but he did say travelling, but he wasn't using it in the same context as you. Soft-sits love playing those word games.
Who was the victim in this situation?
I'm going to object to the relevance of that. They take the victim right to the society.
How can the state be a victim? Can the state testify? Can I bear witness of the state?
I would ask that you direct the witness that he ask questions of the witness and not counsel in the opposite.
I'm asking the court, where is the state? Can I not ask? Who made the claim?
Sir, it's
who's the injured party that made the claim?
Listen to me.
I need you to ask the trooper a question.
what
So
I'm
move
trying to
on
do.
to the next question. It's a question directed at him. Now,
Who is the injured party that made the claim?
Objection, Your Honor, we've already stated our
sustained, that
objection.
is not relevant. You may ask your next question, sir.
This is not a conspiracy to violate your rights. This is you not understanding your rights. Big difference.
I ain't playing y'all's game no more. Go ahead, do what you're doing.
Okay, so you don't have any more questions?
Nah, that's fine. Just remember, I do have all the dash cam and body cam video, so everything you said, you just perjured
I
yourself.
do have a
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I do have a question between, the case number 1834891 is driving without a license.
Right.
And 1834884 is driving on a revoked driver's license.
I think it's covered under the driving on revoked.
Okay.
It's a greater charge, and the other one would be a lesser included
Okay,
there.
so I'm
appears
going
to be charge stacking
I'm
on
going to
that.
dismiss the driving without a license.
Can we confirm Mr. Parker does not wish me to engage in a cross-examination?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he said he is through with our games, I think to quote.
Yeah, I don't participate in fraud.
Okay, so
I kind of like that this judge doesn't get triggered or rise to his sniping. It's quite refreshing.
this is August 24th, and I'm going to dismiss after
Please.
the preliminary hearing this one charge of driving on a revoked driver's license.
I think it'd be
I'd like
driving
to
without-
enter some documents in the
Okay. just-
record as well.
Okay, now,
Wrong yet again. He clocked you driving 92 in a 65. That gives him all the probable cause he needs. You cemented that even further when you refused to stop. End of.
sir, I'm going to let the DA, so obviously you haven't had an opportunity to put on any proof, but you said you were through with us. And so do you wish to put on any proof in this preliminary hearing?
Proof of what?
Anything? Do you wish to testify?
Yeah, I've not put any out. I've challenged the jurisdiction from,
Okay, that's not-
yeah, and the
that's not a
jurisdiction.
witness.
Yes, I get that. But in order to proceed with anything, this court has got to establish jurisdiction. Actually, the prosecution has to establish jurisdiction, and no one has. Neil Pinkston has it, none of his attorney general, assistant attorney generals. This gentleman's employers, these gentlemen, nobody, so we're standing here without anyone claiming any
Mr.
jurisdiction.
Parker,
It's a violation of due
do you have
process.
any questions that you want to ask this witness, or do you wish to testify? Those are the only things that.
What jurisdiction do you have over
Sir,
me?
Sir,
That's a question directed towards him. Is that what you
that's
asked?
not relevant. We're through.
Oh, now
with
it's not
that.
relevant.
Do you have any
Jurisdiction.
questions? Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will
Yes or no?
say this court
No, no,
has
no, 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 no.
acquiesced.
Okay. Do you have any
Jurisdiction.
questions? Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will
Yes or no?
say this court
No, no,
has
no, 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 no.
acquiesced
Okay.
on the fact there is no
Sir,
jurisdiction.
sir.
That is a statement. She asked me if I had a statement. I just made a statement.
You do not wish to testify and have any witnesses. So I find that there's probable cause to believe that all these crimes were committed, and they were committed by this defendant here in this county. And
There you go. She's just ruled that there was probable cause and on your jurisdiction challenge, all in one sentence. But I won't expect you to pick up on that.
I will bind these cases over to the grand jury. Sir, stay in touch with your bondsman. They'll notify you if you are indicted, which courtroom to appear in criminal court. You are free to
Make sure
leave.
they do too,
Thank you, sir.
ma'am.
Your Honor, those were not introduced into evidence, and
I was trying to, he wouldn't let me give them to you. They let me give them to you. So,
They're not- I cannot let
All right, I'll
it
just
through. You would not
believe you said you're done.
all right, that's fine.
Thank you.
I retain all my rights and don't waive any before I cross this bar.
Right. Right now, you're gonna let me talk, okay? Your case was set on the 130 docket because that's a settlement docket, and I take it that you don't want to settle your case. Is that correct?
No, there is no case. It's void ab
Well,
initio.
sir, answer my questions. It's yes Or no, you don't want to settle your case, correct?
No, it's void.
Okay, well, it's not void, so,
I'm not sure who the gentleman is. I asked for Mr. Parker in the hallway, and he would not identify himself.
okay. Sir, whether you identify as Mr. Parker or not, that's the name that you were charged under, is that correct?
That's the name y'all wrote down,
Okay, and you were present when that name was written down, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so he's the individual that this officer arrested.
Alex,
So
no, I'm not
you
that.
will not
I'm
talk
not
when I
that.
talk. Now, the next step is, I guess this needs to be set for a preliminary hearing, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
And so let's pick a date. You don't want that this afternoon, I trust.
I think I could probably do it pretty quick, just to be honest with you. I'm happy to reset.
So the gentleman that has been charged is Mr. Parker. This is an afternoon docket. The afternoon dockets in this courthouse are settlement only. My understanding is you wish to have a preliminary hearing. Actually, you wish to say this is void. And
It is void, and I've challenged the jurisdiction of this court, the
Okay.
DA's office, his office, sheriff's office. Nobody's claimed any jurisdiction or authority over me.
I told you he wouldn't pick up on the judge ruling on the jurisdiction argument.
Stop talking when I'm talking. That's what you do in a hearing. And so, if you want, are you going to have a lawyer to represent you?
No.
Okay, so we can do your hearing today, right now, or we can do your preliminary hearing on a morning docket where we're supposed to have them done. So do you choose this afternoon or another morning?
I
Those are
choose
your
this
only
stuff to be
choices.
dismissed because it's void,
Okay.
but if I have any, I need more time so I can put more paperwork, because I got claims against this gentleman over here
Okay.
for the crimes he committed
I'm not
against
gonna give
me.
you more time.
I see you're going through with the threats to retaliate against the cop who stopped you. I guess you must enjoy prison food.
For claims, because that's in a
Well,
civil court. I'm a criminal court.
yeah.
But I will. say
Criminal
this
claims,
right
not
here.
civil claims.
Okay, so listen to me at this moment, okay? The next time you come into my courtroom, it will be for a preliminary hearing. You should be ready for that hearing with a lawyer or ready to represent yourself, okay? Those will be your only two choices. You will have a preliminary hearing. You will either represent yourself or have a lawyer. Those are the questions I'm going to ask you at that date, okay? Now, let's pick a date that everybody is available for this hearing.
Is anybody making any claim of any authority or jurisdiction? It's been over 3 months and I had not run response to any of that. I think y'all have a duty to answer those.
Sir, we do not have a duty to do anything until we are in a hearing, and we're not in a hearing now. You can, I know you filed the motion, I will hear the motion.
I didn't file no
before your
motions.
hearing. Will you
It's a
file
demand.
something?
It's a demand.
A demand for
jurisdiction. And nobody's claimed any.
That means it's a motion, I will treat it as a motion.
No, it's not a motion, it's a demand. It's a difference.
That will work for you, August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3. And sir, that will be your hearing date, okay? I will see you on that date, prepared for your hearing. Thank you, you may exit my courtroom.
All right. You can't challenge jurisdiction until we have a hearing. What the fuck we sitting here doing? Told them, oh, you need more time? No, I don't need more time. It's dismissed. It's void. It's been void. Oh, you claim it's void?
Unfortunately for you, you don't get to determine that. That's the judge's job. So you might want to keep her on side instead of sniping and talking over her. She was trying her best to help you, even dropping a few charges. But I don't expect you to appreciate any of that. Right, that's it for another video. I really do hope you enjoyed it as much as me. Thank you so much for watching. I will of course keep an eye on his channel for future updates and court hearings. Take care, and I will catch you in the next one.